Pablos! Juli! Juli, there, yeah.
I mean, speaking of the effect of more birders birding, discovering new species, that kind of brings us on quite nicely to one of the superstar kind of bird families of this adventure here in Caldas, the antpittas. Species that are, let's be honest, extremely hard to see most of the time.
Yeah.
Relatively easy to hear, they call a lot and they're quite vocal, but very hard to see.
And you can imagine, I mean, how tough they are, but how important and charismatic they are. That nowadays, even local people have done books and little flyers and stuff about them. So antpittas have become like the thing.
There are probably 30-ish species of antpitta in Colombia, 25, 30 species of antpitta.
15-ish.
About 15 of them come to worm feeders in different parts of the country, some more reliably than others. Colombia is probably the country with the most antpitta species being fed. And Manizales, I think it's probably fair to say, is the Colombian capital of antpitta feeders.
It's not probably, it is. Antpittas had empowered people and had empowered reserves. Like someone discovers, that they're endemic, tough, cool antpitta, they can come to lure it in with worms, so you can come and easily see them. You are in the lower one. So we are in one of these antpitta feeding stations that is basically, like a fallen log where they put some worms, sometimes weevil larvae. And we are here waiting right now for bicolored antpitta. That is one of the good birds that we have only in Ecuador, in Colombia, but in Ecuador is a mythical bird, so Colombia is the place to see it. Waiting for it. This is a patience game. Bicolor was around a little bit, so she will come again. But this is the game, enjoying the patience. That was bicolored. It's coming. Antpittas have been the ultra tough birds to see nowadays, both in Colombia and Ecuador, and they come to feeders and these antpitta whisperers just, come and talk with their birds, and it's pretty amazing. Endemic birds, endangered birds, very rare shy animals are coming to feeders, and it's one of the cool things that has made birding cooler and more open and friendlier to people, that they can see antpittas nowadays. Oh, muy lindo. Sí, las tienen en el mismo campo. We're watching now what is called equatorial antpitta. Like a year and a half, 2 years ago, this thing was called Rufus antpitta before a split, before a taxonomical change. And what happened is that Rufus antpitta from Bolivia to Colombia and Venezuela, I think, was split into something like 15 different species. They all look almost the same, but they sing different, they distribute, they have different ranges, and of course DNA is different. So, the science behind this had made birders' life also richer. But it's pretty cool, each place now has its different Rufus antpitta. Everything is dynamic and changes. We passed to have what, 5?
There are 5 in Colombia.
Santa Marta antpitta in the Santa Marta Mountains, Perijá antpitta in the Perijá Mountains that we share with Venezuela. And then we had Chamí antpitta endemic to the Western Andes, Equatorial antpitta here in the Central Andes that we share with Ecuador, and Muisca antpitta in the Eastern Andes.
So also endemic, endemic to Colombia,
Muisca antpitta also became endemic. So from one species we jumped to have 5, from which 3 are country endemics, 1 is near endemic, we share with Venezuela.
So at Hacienda del Bosque we got equatorial antpitta, and here where we are right now at Glamping El Color de Mis Reves we got a couple more. We got bicolored antpitta and slate-crowned antpitta. That was the cutest little thing doing the classic little... Why do they do that? Do we know why they do that?
I've researched it because we've been working with antpittas to describe a new thing like this. Apparently it doesn't have any purpose, it doesn't feed anything. There's no correlation, they just do it.
They just like dancing.
They just like dancing.